It is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. It is time for the Monday message. So excited to be chatting with everybody today. Listen, we are coming into the countdown to Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is the time to make some serious moves. If you haven't thought about it yet, let me tell you, this is the time to make some serious moves. You take the time we've got now. Today is November 13th. You take what we've got now up until Thanksgiving, and then what we've got between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and between Christmas and New Year's. Those are some windows to make some major moves. Now, low performers. Well, here's what low performers are going to say. Well, you can't write too much business around the holidays. Here's what I love about that. You know what I love? I love when low performers tell me when they ain't going to be working. That's telling me a secret. That's giving me information that they shouldn't have given me. I love it when the rest of the industry, all these insurance people, when they say that, oh, you can't sell no business this time of year. I'm like, yep, you can't, but I'm going to sell a ton of it because you ain't going to be working. I'm just telling you, every year people have personal bests in November and December. Every year, people have personal worsts in November and December. Here's the great news. We get to choose. We get to choose which we shall be. Which shall ye be? That's what we get to choose. That's part of the reason I want to talk about efficiency, because when you've got a window, you got to get crazy, crazy efficient. And here's a reality. This is reality. Reality is you and I are as good as we'll ever get unless we get more efficient. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Let's go over some numbers. All producers over 1,000 for last week. We got Naya coming in, David Fleming. We got Madeline, Noel Wilson there, Southern Adina, Marty, Uwe Pelikanen, Mercedes, Kyle, Megan, Michael, Elida, Jeanette, Cleo Shonda, Mark, Matthew, Christy, Mallory Barnes, Tracy, Nick Greco, Aaron Wilson, new agency manager, Aaron Wilson, one of the newest agency managers in the whole alliance. Aaron Wilson, I'm telling you, I'm just telling you, you get your track shoes on. She is going to do some serious damage in 2024. Jessica Rasmussen coming in there. I need to get her on my schedule. I need to talk to her. She's going to do some big things too. I'm making all my predictions. I'm making my predictions for who's making moves in 2024. Rogers and Kim coming in with 9 apps. Jeremico coming in at $5,466.60 last week submitted. Let's go to top five. Top five for the week that was. Andre Lee dropping in 8 apps for $5,500. Mimi Ramiro dropping in 5 apps for $88,951.76. And I believe she wrote personally over 22,000 this weekend. I think that was the text I saw. I had kind of an insane weekend. But I do remember seeing that text exchange. I dropped in 10,000 last week. Danny Hoyt dropping in 12,000. Adam and Cindy Burge, he's making moves. He's coming for number one. I'm telling you, I was talking with Andy Albright this morning. We have an accountability call every Monday. You think you have accountability in your life when you got to talk to Andy on Monday and tell him what you got done? That's accountability. We were talking about Adam Burge and how he is somebody that's going to make a massive impact in the alliance in 2024. All right, let's look at paychecks. Look at these deposits last week. Look at Mike Guerra depositing last week. That's money deposited into his account. That's not submit. That's not issue paid. That's not premium. That is money deposited. We pay Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Over those 3 days, Mike Guerra deposited $4,408.94. Adam and Cindy Burge deposited $5,268.71. Mr. Hutchison deposited $6,136.61. Nick Greco deposited $8,640.12. And Seth and Adina Decker, top paycheck last week, $10,768.23 deposited last week alone. Year-to-date issue pay, this is where we're shaking up. This is where we stand right now. You look at Helgeson coming in there at 10, Fleming at 9, Mimi coming in at 8, Guerra coming in at 7, Aaron Wilson. Whew, that's tight. I gotta make some moves here. Number 5, Mr. Mark Hutchison at 4. Adam and Cindy Burge way out ahead of Hutch there. Big jump up to Nick Greco. Big jump up to Jeremico. Look at that. I'm telling you, you got 3/2. Anything can happen. It's anybody's game. I mean, we are coming up on midway through the fourth quarter. By the way, I just want to take a minute and reflect on that. 10 years ago, you could be the number one producer for the year with 150,000. You're not even going to make the top 10. I'm just telling we have gotten so much more efficient and better. We're learning, we're growing. I love it. Recruiting last week, the Burges, Brandy Blankenship, and Byron all with one direct fast track. The base shop had 5. You got all with one direct contracted agent last week. You got Riley, Clive, the Burges, Christy, Mercedes, Smeche. Way to go. We got 2 coming in for Guerra and the base shop at 3. So we got all those new people getting ready to hit it this week. And by the way, I am excited with what I'm seeing. Just it's one of those things we have gotten into a time of momentum. We are finding sharp new people direct in the base shop here that are going to do major damage in 2024. That was a big theme of my call with Andy this morning. Was I am stacking up in width, and we are going to make a move, and there's going to be a shakeup in the makeup. We're going to see people rise to the top. We're going to see criers get left behind, and we're going to see massive moves in 2024. If I'm you, I'm stocking up. I'm doing the same. I'm stocking up. I'm telling you. All right, let's go. Look at all the new business associates last month. New issue paid. Matthew Albrechtson, James Metcher, Jennifer Hanna, Caden Luden, Maria Alonso, Jenny Orr, Ashley McShane, Simon Munoz, Jeffrey Maldonado, Jessica Miranda, Latanya Gathers, John Pearson, Kim Nielsen, Camille Jones, new business developers, Kyle Melander, Brock Butcher, Irvin Herrera, John Rocketshaw, Marcos Aoud, Stanley Iguadibia. Hey, man, somebody, Stanley, send me a pronunciation key. I want to get your name right. You're getting promoted and moving up in the company. I want everybody to know your name. Melissa Goshen, Curtis Brummer, Julia Kaluch. That's on Guerra's team. Guerra is blowing up in Houston. If I'm you and I'm not recruiting in Dallas and Houston, I'm going, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I not recruiting in Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio? Texas is blowing up right now. I'm going to be traveling to Texas a ton. Where'd I get left off there? Javane Nugent, new qualified business promoters, Isaac Mayfield, Tamia Gomez, Laura Salisbury, Darla Green, George Devolis, new qualified team builders, Sarah Mendoza, Dante Wilson, Aiden Crowder Shaddix, Dante Crowder, Guillermo Acuna, new qualified team leaders, Jessica Rasmussen. That's what I was saying. I need to get on the phone with Jessica. I'm telling you, she's gonna make some moves. Aaron Bentley, AJ Clanton, Cleo Cook out there on the West Coast, qualified key leaders, Willem Stallonis, Tyson Thrall, new qualified district manager, David Fleming. Way to go. Loving it, David. Proud of you, man. I see Mimi texting here. Didn't know she was correcting me or letting me know. I'm going to find it. I just want to know. Oh, so proud. I love when people make moves and they tell you what they're going to do, and then they do it, and then they tell you that they did it. That's the kind of people I want to run with. That's the kind of people I want to make things happen with. Let's see. Here it is. I thought I saw it. Oh, yeah. Good morning. This is yesterday at 10:30 a.m. 7 apps for 21,600. I love it. And look, he's already approved. Man, that's exciting. That's action. That is crazy good stuff. I love it. I can't wait to talk with my base shop leaders here in just a minute. All right. So here's a reality. Intentions, hopes, and dreams can never get you anything that you want. Intentions, hopes, and dreams can never get you anything you want until you get better at doing what you need to do to get there. Does that make sense? This is why people get so disillusioned. They get all these intentions, these hopes, and these dreams. Hey, people are queuing up their intentions right now for 2024. Some of them are even going to buy a gym membership soon because this is the year. Hopes and dreams. They got hopes and dreams. They got the bathing suit they already got planned for the summer. Until they do something, nothing changes. And that's why I want to talk about efficiency today. Here's what I know. Same thing is true of you that's true of me. Same thing. Your current routine, my current routine. Our current routines are the enemies of the things we want to accomplish. Our current routines are the enemies of our future dreams. Think about that for a minute. Your current routine is the enemy. It's fighting your future dreams. Why? Because your current routine has to get better to get to those future dreams. Think about that. That's why most people, you think about that, they go all through life, and you talk to these clients, right? Their whole plan was just to get to a pension, or dear God, just get to Social Security, retire. Don't that bad plan. They're just trying to that's their intention. That's all they're trying to get done. So they build a routine to get there. And then they get there and they go, man, retirement isn't what I thought it'd be. I didn't get this, because it's the routine never changed. Think about this. Most people in America got up this morning and they're going to do this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're going to do the same exact thing they did last week. Nothing better. Nothing, no changes. That is the enemy of our future dreams. So here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about getting crazy efficient, how to get more efficient. Because if you don't become more efficient and I don't become more efficient, here's what's scary. Can I tell you what's scary? We are at the pinnacle of our productivity. If you and I don't get more efficient, we are at the pinnacle of our productivity. And here's why. Because you're getting older. I'm getting older. Think about this, max productivity. We're not going to be able to attack with the same energy as we get older. And you say, well, I'm going to exercise. I'm doing it too. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm in the same fight with you. We got to get more efficient. And so that's what I want to talk about today. All right. Number one thing on getting more efficient: time audit, target changes, implement them. Time audit, target changes, implement them. I believe in our new agent training that we have, there's a whole course on time audit. Is that correct? All right, I'm getting a thumbs up here in the studio. There's a whole course on time audit. Here's what a time audit looks like. 168 hours. What did you do with it? Think about this. Last Monday, 1 o'clock, we got together for the Monday message. What did you do with your 168? What did I do with my 168? Here's what I know. We can't get a refund on it. We can't go, man, I really blew some of my time last week. I blew my time on stupid stuff. I blew time on scrolling. Let me tell you something. While you're scrolling, your life is rolling. It's going to be gone. What did you do with your 168? What did I do with my 168? That's what a time audit says. That's where you audit what we do. And so if you haven't done one recently, let this be the week. Between now and 1 o'clock next Monday, with your 168, take the notes out in your phone. Every 20 minutes, give an accounting. Give an accounting, and then here's what I want. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Am I happy with what I did with that last 20? Am I unhappy with what I did that last 20? I'm going to try and get more thumbs up. I encourage you to come live with me, all right? Now, here's the deal with schedule. Once you implement changes, the changes have to be non-negotiable. And here's what happens. As soon as you try to get more efficient, people are going to try and pull you off of that track. Let me tell you the truth. If someone else's lack of planning, supposed emergencies, or your own emotions pull you off your calendar, then we were never that committed to it to begin with. None of those three forces should pull us off of our calendar. If someone else's lack of planning, someone else's supposed emergency, or your own emotions or my own emotions pull us off our calendar, we were never that committed to begin with. So that's why we've got to audit, identify changes, implement them, and then it is absolutely non-negotiable. Let me just give you a quick tip on your emotions and my emotions. The most effective people I know have timed fits, meaning, man, that stinks. I'm going to be furious for 5 minutes, but then ding, I'm done. I got to get back to work. Low efficiency people, oh man, low efficiency people, let me tell you something about low efficiency people. They'll let bad traffic on the way to work today ruin the day. They'll spend the rest of their day in a bad mood over other people's driving. I love when people say, oh, they just made me. He just made me. I had one person was saying, he just made me cuss him out. I was like, did he work you like a puppet? Because if not, he didn't make you cuss him out. You understand what I'm saying? Our own emotions are going to come into conflict with our calendar. Are we going to let them win or not? Other people's supposed emergencies are going to come into conflict with our calendar. Are we going to let them win or not? Other people's lack of planning is going to come into conflict with our calendar. Are we going to let them win or not? Here's one big thing Dan Sullivan will tell you, and we've paid thousands of dollars for this advice. Time blocking is what the most efficient people do. They block time. They have time blocks on their calendar. If you look at their calendar for this week, they've got everything blocked off. Here's the other thing he'll tell you. The most efficient people plan out in a series of plans, meaning they have a plan for this quarter. They have a plan for 2024. Those are big blocks. They fill in and they become efficient as they move through it. Low performers, I love it. I love when you call somebody, say, what's going on, man? Not much. Oh, I'm like, I gotta go. I need to find someone that is running with their hair on fire. Does that make sense? I need someone that's getting something done. Let me tell you something. Let me give you one more piece of advice. Maybe I'll give you two more pieces. Well, no, one more piece of advice. When it comes to your calendar, be brutal around principles, priorities, and purpose. I'm brutal around principles, priority, and purpose. Meaning, I've got principles I live my life by. Meaning, I've got priorities. I've got things I've got to get done. I have got to grow this company because I've got to show growth to Andy and to integrity. I've got to show growth to Brian Adams. Those are that's priorities. And I've got a purpose. I love helping change lives. I was just talking with a new direct last week, and I'm telling you, I got off that call excited. I couldn't get my stupid iMac to work for nothing because my calendar wasn't talking to something or something like that. I had to have my little iPad, my iPad out, and I was doing a video call on it, and I was just like, hey, I'll call it. I wasn't at all worried about my iMac not having it on my calendar and all that stuff. I was so fired up talking to another person that wants to get something big done. That's my. Does it make sense? So I'm brutal with my calendar on this. Here's what I get a lot of times. Hey, I need to get some time with you. I had someone tell me that recently. I need to get some time with you. And I'm like, I'm going to give you zero time because I am brutal with my principles, with my priorities, and with my purpose. And I'm sorry, but the way you live your life right now it just doesn't fit in. Brings no value. I can't let you pull me off my calendar because you need some time all of a sudden. No, that's not me. No, I'm brutal with principles, priorities, and purpose. If you do that, let me tell you something. It's going to make you feel so free. It is going to be crazy freeing when you go, it's okay to be brutal around principles, priority, and purpose. 100%. What's your purpose? What are you trying to get done? I'm very clear on my purpose and my purposes. Very clear around my priorities, very clear around my principles. When you get that clarity, it's okay to be brutal with it. Let me tell you one last thing on this. I'll give you one last thing on this with calendar. This is true of you. It's true of me. It's true of everybody. We can say what we want, but where we spend our time is where our heart is. Meaning we can say, I believe I'm this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that. But then I put time with, and I get pulled here and I put time into scrolling, looking at other people's lives on social media. I put time into binge watching this, binge watching that. I put time into this, I put time into that, but that doesn't line up. But I'm about this. Nope. Looks like we're about this. Does that make sense? You and I have to be brutally honest with ourselves about that. Where we put our time, that is our principles, our priority, and our purpose. I hope it scares you. I hope it shakes you up. Does that make sense? When you go, well, my purpose is this, my priorities are this, my principles dictate this. Well, where do we put our time? Because that is, if we look at, that's why the time audit is so important, because that tells us where our principles, priority, and purpose have been. Think about that. Most people say, my purpose is to help elevate others. And then they go, ooh, let me read this article that someone posted. I want to keep looking at this, but somebody negative is calling me. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's okay. Me and you, we'll be brutal about our principles, our priorities, and our purpose. Come with me. All right. Now that's number one's big. I spent a lot of time on it. Don't worry, I'm not gonna spend that much time on each one of these because I got stuff to do, just like you got stuff to do. We got stuff to do. Number two, this comes off of doing this time audit. Get help and delegate. Let me tell you something. If you can't get help or you refuse to get help and you refuse to delegate, you are currently at your peak performance. This is as good as ever gonna get. The fruitage of what you did last week, unless you're willing to get help and delegate, that's as good as ever gonna get. What I got my fruitage from last week, unless I'm willing to get more help and delegate more things, I'm at the pinnacle. See, I don't like my fruitage from last week. I know I can get better. Does that make sense? I know I can get better. I know I can help more people. I'm going to have to get more help and I'm going to have to delegate. Because one or the other, you'd have to go, all right, this is the pinnacle. Or I got to get help and I got to delegate. Now, let me tell you something. Got to will help you get to. I'm going to give you a shift here in a minute that's going to come back and apply to this. Got to will help you get to. When you say, I got to, okay, then get to it. People say, well, I got to get some help. But, here, let me tell you something. Most people butt smother their business to death. They just go, but, and they just butt smother it to death. It's like, well, why don't I have a big business like so-and-so? Why am I not growing like Mike Guerra? Because he butt smothered it. Too many butts, smothered it. Don't butt smother your business. I'm just telling you. All right. Now, when it comes to delegation, people do this wrong. They'll be like, okay, you're my assistant. I need you to do all these things. And then they'll call me and they'll be all ticked off and they'll be like, what? You told me to hire somebody and the person I hired couldn't do anything right. It's like, well, because you did hiring them wrong. Does that make sense? Hire at the level that you need the performance of. Most people hire very low instead of finding. Let me say something. You get what you pay for when it comes to help. You get what you get what you ask for when it comes to performance. So here's the model. When you hire somebody, number one, I talked about this with Jeremico's core team on Saturday. High expectations are a compliment. Low expectations are an insult. Most people set low expectations for their staff, for their people, for their team. Don't even get me started. I'll talk to someone about it. Yeah, well, so-and-so said it should take me about 3 weeks to get done with pre-licensing. I'm like, well, so-and-so must think you're an idiot. I think you're awesome. I think you'll get it done in 3 days because that's what awesome people do. I think you're awesome. High expectation. Same thing with staff. I expect you to perform at a high level. I'm okay with low performance. That's an insult. I might as well just say, hey, little buddy, since you're an idiot, you're not good at stuff, I don't expect much out of you, okay? In fact, come in late, that's fine. Leave early, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. In fact, you can even scroll while you're at work. That's fine. I might as well have said, you're an idiot. Does that make sense? High expectations are a compliment. So set expectations, and then here's what we do. Model. You do what you want someone to do while they watch you. Model the job. Number two, watch them do the job. Number three, empower them, which is where you go, okay, you saw me do it. I saw you do it. You can do it. This is yours. If I come back and it's not done, then you got to go, which is number four, inspect. Model, watch, empower, inspect. 5, correct. When you inspect, you will find stuff that needs to be corrected. Here's what I was just saying this in the studio. I never get upset at effort problems. Effort screw-ups, I'm okay with. Lack of effort screw-ups, 0 tolerance. Remember, I'm brutal about principles, priorities, and purpose. So model, watch, empower, inspect, correct. Using those 5 things, that's how you get staff performing at a high level. That's how you get help performing at a high level. All right. Prioritize. Is it a thing that I've got to do or a B thing that I kind of need to do? Or is it C, D, E, and I can help build a structure to free me up for more A and B? Does that make sense? All right. Number 3, now we're getting into some shifts. This first shift is shift from excuses to solutions. This is what I was talking about earlier, where people butt smother their business. Well, I'd do that, but I'd get staff, but I can't right now because of this, that, and the other. Let me tell you something. Can't, and you'll hear me say this multiple times. You'll get tired of hearing me say this. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Can't is just nice in dress clothes. Meaning we'll say can't, but what we're really saying is won't. But we don't want to say won't because that'll make it seem like we're lazy. So we say I can't. Let me tell you something. Shift from excuses to solutions. Here's what I say. When someone starts to try and butt smother their own business, I'll be like, okay, how are we going to fix that? I know I need to get help so I can stop doing the pending myself. I need to get someone to do my pending for me, but I can't afford it right now. Okay, how are we going to fix that? That's moving from excuses to solutions. So don't let yourself be the one that keeps you at excuses. I can't let myself be the one that keeps me at excuses. I've got to shift from excuses to solutions. Okay, Stephen, how are we going to fix that? Not just who it is. Let me tell you something. Top performers always believe there is a fix. If you want to be more efficient, we shift from excuses to solutions. As long as we're holding on to excuses, that's like us carrying around a big old bag full of rocks trying to win a race. I can't get going any faster. Well, yeah, because you're carrying a bunch of rocks. Those are called excuses. Move from excuses to solutions. Here's a big question I like to ask myself. You don't have to ask yourself this, but I would encourage you to if you want to be more efficient. Will it really not work, or do I just not want to do it? Will it really not work, or do I just not want to do it? All of a sudden, we get to the root of the problem, don't we? Most of the time, it's just I didn't want to do it, but I was trying to make it seem like it just wouldn't work. Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, if I write 40,000 a month, if I write 40,000 a month, I can go to 100% contract. I'll have all that, but will it really won't work, or do I just not want to do it? When there's no third option, that really makes you and I own up to stuff. Does it make sense? I love it. All right, second shift. Got to shift if you want to get more efficient from what I don't have to what do I have. Inefficient people are big what I don't have. Well, of course, Mike Garrett can grow so fast. He's got all that network marketing background. He knows how to identify people that have the. Okay, well, let's shift from what I don't have to what I do have. What are your current assets, and how do you get to the things you need? Can you see how talking about what we don't have has zero value? Have you ever talked about what you don't have long enough that eventually all your dreams came true? No. Shift from what I don't have. Okay, what do I have? Where can I start? What do I need to do? Okay, it may be true that I didn't write enough business in the last 6 months to be able to get a good staff to help me with recruiting and growth. That may be true. What do I have? What are some ways I could get that ball rolling? All right, number 5. This is big when it comes to efficiency. It's a question I ask myself. I step back, reflect, try and get as truthful with myself as I can get. Here it is. Number 5, ask, am I smarter, same, or dumber? Am I smarter, same, or dumber? Here's what I'm scared of, same. Here's what I'm terrified of, dumber. What drives that? The only 2 things that drive us as people, media and association. And you say, people can get dumber in life? Oh yeah. Just take a look around. Take a look around. They were performing at a higher level previously. They got a bunch of negativity in their life, and now they're performing down here. Here's the problem with that. As they're getting older, they're performing lower. That's no bueno. And worse, they're around people that are telling them that it's impossible to perform like that. And worse, they're around people that are telling them well, you can't, there's just that'll never. That's how we get dumber or smarter. I'm trying to get smarter. Why? Because I want to be more efficient. So what did I feed myself, and who was I around? What did I feed myself, and who was I around? Those are the only 2 things that are going to help me get more efficient. Number 5, are you smarter, dumber, or smarter, same, or dumber? I'm terrified of the other 2. I've got to get smarter. I have got to get smarter. It's because when I was talking with Andy last week on my Monday call, he was going, look, here's the deal. You're smarter. You think about all the stuff you've learned, all the mistakes you've made. You know how to build with. And just laying it all out. It's like, Yeah, it'd be terrible. I can't be the same. I gotta keep getting better. I gotta keep getting better. I gotta keep filling my brain with good stuff. I gotta keep myself around people that stretch me, people that expect me to do better and be better. All right, number 6, goals, measurements, rewards, and punishment. This will make you more efficient. And by the way, that question previously, will it really not work? And do I just not want to do it? Just so y'all know, high performers, they're no different than low performers as far as like the chemicals that make up their bodies, right? We're all basically made up of the same chemicals. High performers just choose the power of setting a goal, being measured, and using rewards and punishment. Low producers, they won't do rewards or punishment. They won't withhold something until they do something. They cannot think about that. They will not venture into that space. Goals, measurement, rewards, punishment. That system is how you move yourself to efficiency. Let me tell you something. As for me, and perhaps there's people that are far more enlightened, but I feel like I'm like every other human. I will move from punishment. I will move to keep from losing. So, goals, measurement, rewards, punishment. Number 7, this ties all of it together: accountability. And here's the truth about accountability. Truth about accountability is I can't make you more accountable. I can't tell you how many times in my history of doing this, I've had people say, I need you to make me more accountable. It's like, I cannot make a human being be accountable. If I had that magic power to take control over someone's brain and make them do the stuff that will get them to where they want to go, I wouldn't need an insurance license. Does that make sense? Accountability is a choice. Let me tell you something. Accountability brings pain, but accountability through pain will get you to pleasure. That's the only way to journey. You have to take the pain of initial accountability to get to the pleasure you want. Remember, the pain and pleasure source, the pain and pleasure parts of our brain, that's what drives us. You're going to have to push through pain of early accountability to get to the pleasure of results. It's the way we work as human beings. All the top performers I know, the most efficient people are accountability seeking machines. They're seeking accountability. They want people to know the numbers. They want other people to know their numbers. We're getting ready to put everybody's numbers up in our base shop leadership. The crew here has been working on all the measurables that create growth. We're going to put up a big slide in front of everybody on that call here. And as soon as we move over there, you say, well, I want to be on the base shop leadership call. Okay. Text me. Let's see if we can find some time. I'll explain to you what all's involved. It's leadership. So I'm telling you. But we're going to put everybody's numbers up. Why? Because high performers want to be measured. High performers want to be measured. By the way, none of the people that will go to the NFL Combine that are hoping to get to the NFL, none of those people, when they go to run their 40-yard dash, none of them go, hey, could you guys turn the clock off? I don't want it measured. Yeah, great. Thank you. None of them. They're all going, I want to be measured. And guess what they do? You watch them. As soon as they run their dash, what do? They turn around to look. They want to know where they're at. That's what top performers do. That's what the most efficient people do. So here's what I say to my leadership team. I love you guys. The measurement is going to continue. And here's what it's going to lead to. The pain of accountability is going to lead us to the pleasure of growth. We are, and this is what I'm going to see, you're going to hear me start saying this. We are the most passionate, the most focused, the most brutal with our principles, our priorities, and our purpose group in the entire alliance, in the entire sphere of integrity companies. That's how we take the alliance to the number one entity in integrity. That's how we take us to the number one entity within the alliance and make this team a massive, massive driving force